equal to Q divided by 4 pi epsilon R. Epsilon is equal to epsilon naught and epsilon R. Okay, for air, epsilon R is equal to 1. For others, epsilon R is greater than 1. Then what is the idea? For air, you are getting epsilon naught. Okay. For other than air, say in those case, if epsilon R is 1, sorry, not 1, if epsilon R is 2, you are getting epsilon 1. Say if epsilon R is 5, you are getting some new epsilon, say that is epsilon 2. Or otherwise, for clarity, you can take that value itself. Say this is epsilon 2. Whenever epsilon R is 2, that you are taking epsilon 2. Whenever epsilon R is 5, you are taking epsilon 5. Now, please somebody tell me, what happens if I go from this value to this value? See, here I am getting some electric field. Say that electric field I am denoting as E0. In this case, I am getting some electric field I am denoting as E2. E2 means what? I am using this notation, that's it. E2 means what? My permittivity, relative permittivity of the medium is 2. Okay, 2 times of epsilon naught. Here in this case, it is 5 times of epsilon naught. Can anybody tell me what is the order? Which one is greater, E0 or E2 or E5?
E0, sir.
Yeah, E0. Okay, so E0 is having some value, E2 value decreases and E5 value further decreases. So in this case, you are only epsilon naught. Again, epsilon R is equal to 1 only. But in this case, epsilon R is 2, epsilon R is 5. So we have clearly shown what is the electric field strength. Then what is the idea, sir? Whenever epsilon R increases, field strength decreases. Whenever epsilon R increases, what is happening? Field strength decreases. Are you all getting this? See, you are keeping remaining parameters constant. Okay, Q and R. Once if you are increasing your medium relative permittivity, say epsilon R, your electric field strength is decreasing. So the more the permittivity, less the electric field strength. More the permittivity, less the electric field strength. Are you all getting this idea? More the permittivity, more the relative permittivity. Epsilon R meaning is relative permittivity. But in the name, something contradictory. Name permittivity அதிகமாகுதுன்னு சொல்றோம் அப்படினா அப்ப நல்லா அது permit பண்ணனும். But ஆனா இதுக்கு opposite நடக்குது. Can anybody tell me what is the reason for this? More the permittivity, less the electric field. What is the reason behind this? Yes, are you all getting this idea, sir? More the relative permittivity, less the electric field strength. It is something contradictory to that naming. Yes, sir. No question கேக்குறேன் புரியுதா? Question புரியுதான்னு சொல்லுங்க. We will move on to further. Yes. No, question is not. No, don't go to that area and all. I am asking very simple question. Permittivity increases means permittivity, you are permitting very easily. Then electric field strength also has to increase, but it is going down. What is the reason? I am simply concentrated on a naming convention. I am not concentrated on about remaining things. Is the naming convention is okay, or it is a given name in the opposite way? That only I am asking. Are you getting that point? Anyway, I know once a radius increases, the distance and all decrease. I am not discussing about things. See, I am here in this point only. You are saying you are permitting very easy. Permittivity more means what? You are permitting very easily. Then why electric field decreases? Are you getting this question?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, because that parameter is given in inverse relationship 1 by epsilon R. That is a reason. Okay, the naming is okay, but by bad luck that epsilon R comes in the denominator. That is the main problem. If it would have been in the numerator, then there is no problem. Okay, so it is acting in something in opposite way. more the relative permittivity, less the electric field strength. That you should remember. That's it. Okay. Anyway, otherwise you can Google it. What is the reason for this? You come up with the answer on tomorrow. This is the reason. Okay, just because it's doing in the opposite way. It is because that parameter is used in the denominator. So that's why they might have used some other different name instead of permittivity, but we are using the name permitted only. But please remember, the more the permittivity, less the electric field strength. More the permittivity, less the electric field strength. That is the idea here. That is the idea here. Okay. So somehow we have derived what is the electric field strength of point charge, that is Q 4 pi epsilon r square, and we have proved that epsilon depends on the medium properties. Okay, epsilon depends on the medium properties. That means what, sir? If there is some medium, it is not at all allowing the electric field, then what will happen? That epsilon r will be very high. Are you all getting that point? Because that means what? Which is a best medium? Air is a best medium because it is having only epsilon naught. All other mediums will not allow that much easily the electric field. It may allow, but up to what extent? That will be denoted by the epsilon r. The lesser the epsilon r, very easily that medium is allowing the electric field. Okay, please note down in your notes clearly. Other than air, if epsilon value is less, that medium is allowing very easily the electric field. If epsilon value is more, that will not allow that much easily. Okay, that means what? Your field strength will reduce very great in the greater extent. Okay, that is the idea. That is the idea of the epsilon r. Okay, so so next, and please, what is the value of epsilon naught? Farad per meter. Okay, relative permittivity is 8.85 for 10 power minus 12 farad per meter. Okay, then you know what is the unit of charge. Okay, instead of epsilon naught, you can put it here, or sometime for 4 pi epsilon naught itself, they will replace by some value like 9 into 10 power 9 or 36 pi something and all. That's okay. It's all convention. Okay. Anyway, I will come to that later. But at this point, please here, what is the unit of electric field? Anybody? The unit of electric field is volt per meter. The unit of electric field, you know, it is a volt per meter. Now the unit of charge is coulomb. Again, epsilon naught or epsilon value is farad per meter, and r square is meter square. You please prove that both are equal. Left hand side and right hand side is equal. Then what is the unit of epsilon r? Anyone? Epsilon r has no unit. It is just a relative parameter. It is just a relative parameter. How easily your new medium is allowing the electric field as compared to the air medium. It is a relative parameter, so epsilon r will not have any unit. Epsilon r will not have any unit. Okay. So you try to prove this unit. Okay, and also you note down what is epsilon r. Relative permittivity means how easily or how difficult. How easily or how difficult. It's all how you understand this one, sir. Okay. Epsilon means what? How easily or how difficult your new medium is allowing the electric field as compared to the air medium. Okay, what is epsilon r? How easily or how difficult your new medium is allowing the electric field. Please note down in your notes what is epsilon r. How easily or how difficult your new medium is allowing the electric field as compared to the air medium. It is a relative parameter, so there will not be any unit. Okay. So please, today you try to prove this. Okay, as you take it as a homework, you try to do it. You prove that volt per meter is equal to coulomb per farad per meter and meter square. You try to prove this unit. Okay. So next, we have derived the electric field of point charge and electric flux density of the point charge. Okay. Then we have come to some conclusion and what are all the relations we have seen, and then finally we have proved that electric field depends on medium properties, whereas electric flux density is independent of properties. Electric flux density, because it simply gives you how many lines are there. it will not give you how much strength that line is having, but strength is decided by E. Strength is decided by E. So as a medium property changes, strength changes, but number of line is same. Please remember, number of line is same, but strength of the line changes. As the medium properties changes, strength of the line is changing, but number of lines is always same. Even if it is in water or any other medium, the number of lines will not change. So that flux density will not change, but whereas the strength of the each lines will vary. That's why E depends on epsilon. That's why E depends on epsilon. Okay, now I will go to the simulation part. Okay, we'll get some realistic idea what's actually happening. Yes, sir. Is it visible? Yes.
Yes, sir.
Yes. Okay. Now I will take some positive charge and I will observe the what is the field of the positive charge. Now I have only one positive charge in the universe. Okay, I just simulate it. What's happening? The field lines are radially going outside always, continuously. Okay, generally it will be going continuously. The field lines will be radially going outwards continuously. Okay, again you are watching in 2D model. You are watching in 2D model. Please wait a bit. Annotation is not coming. Model actually. Okay, you are seeing it is in a plain paper, but you please imagine yourself, a charge is placed in a center of the sphere, the charge will be radially going outward. Okay, radially going outward. 3D, actually 3D system. This is okay. Now they've clearly shown that electric field lines are going. They clearly shown that the electric field lines are going outwards. Okay, are you all getting that flux density idea here? Say. Say what is the flux density? Suppose I choose an imaginary sphere here and somewhere here. Okay. Say I am having some instrument. The length of the instrument is this one. Okay. Once if I have this much length, it is simply collecting 3 lines. If I put the same length here, what is happening? Same length. It is collecting only 2 lines. It is because what? The circumference increases or surface area increases. That is a reason. So it's clear. As R increases, definitely the flux density will decrease. That is the idea. Okay, what is the idea? The flux density is inversely proportional to R square. Again, very clearly you can see here distance is small. As you go away, the distance between the flux lines increases. So definitely what is happening? Flux density will decrease. Flux density will decrease. Okay. Now, and again, we have to prove one more thing. Okay. The flux density in turn depends on the charge available here. Okay. Charge available here. I have told you flux density is directly proportional to what, sir? Q. Flux density is directly proportional to Q. So now I will introduce one more charge here. Okay. I will introduce one more charge here. Then I will try to measure the flux density. Before that, in this case itself, I will measure what is flux density. I am having only one positive charge. Now I will measure what is the flux density. Okay. So for that measurement, I am taking some field tester. I am putting it here. I am getting some value approximately. It is like I think 7.9, sir. What is the value? 7.9. Okay, 7.9 is a value, field value. Again, you please remember field strength and flux densities are directly proportional. Once if the medium is constant, see, please note down that one. Once the medium is constant, see, we are in constant medium, D is directly proportional to E. If D increases, definitely E also will increase. Once if you are in a fixed medium, flux strength and flux density is directly proportional. Okay, anyway, some value will be there for epsilon naught. That's okay. So in general, for a given medium, flux density is directly proportional to field strength, or field strength is directly proportional to flux density. Okay, now what I'm going to do, I'm going to introduce one more charge here. I'm going to introduce one more charge. Then I will observe what is the field here, field strength or flux density. Okay, so I'm taking one more charge and I am fixing here. Okay, previously I got around 7.5 or 7.9, something like that. Now I'm getting 15. Why? Previously there was only one positive charge. Now there is two positive charge. So what happens? So your D is directly proportional to what, sir? Q. As a Q increases, D will increase. As a Q increases, D will increase. Okay. Now I bring one more charge. What happens? Yes, sir. Are you all getting this idea? Again, I have third charge on the brick now. 3 times out. Field strength 3 times. Once field strength 3 times, D 3 times out. But number of lines increase but anyway that is imaginary one. Number of lines increase but in the simulation lines increase. But anyway, that field strength is increasing, then we have to imagine ourselves number of lines either with a number of lines increasing or the field strength of each line is increasing. Anyway, you can imagine that number of line itself is a imagination concept. That's why in the beginning itself I told, okay, size equal to Q is itself a imagination concept. Okay, we are not interested in how many lines are there, but we are finally interested in what is the field strength. What is the field strength? With that you can calculate the flux density. Okay, so this is the idea. Then I will see what is the effect of negative charge, sir? What is the effect of negative charge? Are you all getting what is happening? Once I put the negative charge, electric field is coming inside the charge. You see the arrow mark. In previous case, the arrow mark was going outwards. In this case, and the arrow mark is coming inside. All other definitions are same, sir. Once if you have negative charge, an electric field will be coming towards you. That's it. Remaining everything is constant. Field strength, flux density, everything is same formula only. Only direction of the lines will be changed. Okay, if it is a positive, it will be going outside. If it is a negative, it will be coming inside. It will be coming inside. Okay, now you have seen the effect of negative charge. Okay, now what I'm going to do, I will put both a positive charge and a negative charge. Let's see what's happening. Okay, anyway, I will reset this. I put one positive charge here. I put one more negative charge here. I simulate. Okay, this is the concept of dipole, sir. This is the concept of dipole. I am having one positive charge and one negative charge. See what's happening actually. What is happening? See here, the line is where the line comes from. It comes from infinity. Okay, it also coming from infinity. If the possibility is there, it will make a connection with this. Okay, as the distance is nearby, these field lines will go and end here, because the positive has to end with the negative only. The positive lines has to end with the negative lines. Okay, so whatever the lines that is coming outside, it will end here. Okay, so in the near vicinity, it will be going like this. It will be going like this. Okay, but as the distance increases, simply again where this line goes to infinity. From where this line comes from infinite. Okay, that's like this you have to imagine. Okay, this is the configuration of two charges having opposite value and separated by some distance. Okay, the next question is, and please be careful here. What is happening? What is the field strength value, sir? Anybody? What is the field strength value here? What is the value here? What is the value here? What happens as I go vertically? What happens to the field strength? As I go horizontally, what's happening to my field strength? Anybody? First of all, you please tell me what happens to the field strength once if I go vertically.
Decreases.
If I go horizontally?
Increases.
increases. What about others? See, my question is, I am standing far away. Charge is somewhere. Say I am standing 500 kilometers away from this. Okay, charge is here. Charge is here. I am standing 500 kilometers away, like this. You may be anywhere. You can stand here, or you can stand vertically, or anywhere you can stand. What will happen? What will be your field strength? Anyway, you will be measuring some field strength. What will be that field strength value? If you imagine properly, that is 0. Why? Because once if you go very far away, you can consider this imaginary surface. Within that imaginary surface, there is both positive and negative charge. Okay, once if you have both positive and negative charge, approximately that is 0. Approximately that is 0. Then what will be the field strength? When you go far away, what will be the field strength? That is 0. Once if you go far away, what will be the field strength? That is 0 only. Please note down, sir. So once if you go far away, your field strength will be 0. Okay. Again, suppose if you are in a near vicinity, if you are in the near vicinity of the charges, say if I am here, there is a possibility that I will get some field strength. If I am here, I will get some field strength. What happens if I am standing here? Whether will I get the field strength or not? Okay, that and all you have to analyze with the equation. Anyway, for a dipole, I will give you some equation. That equation consists of r and theta. Theta can be anything from 0 to pi, or otherwise you can take it as a phi value. Generally, pi varies from 0 to 2 pi. Okay, anyway, angle will be given and distance will be given. Then you have to analyze whether that equation is satisfying this diagram. Okay, electric field pattern formed by the dipole lines. Electric field pattern formed by the dipole lines. Yes, sir. Are you understanding this? Anyway, you know what is the field pattern of dipole. Yes, everyone. It is available in every book. Please verify it today whether it is satisfying with this formula or not. Sorry, whether it is satisfying with this diagram or not. I will give you the clue there. What is r? What is theta? I think generally I think this is the base axis. This is the theta variation. Base theta variation from these 2 pi. This is the theta variation, and you can take radius from the center point like this. Anyway, please look into that what's final expression. Then you compare with this diagram. Okay. இந்த ஐடியா புரியுதா சார்? என்ன சொல்றேன்னு? டைபோலுக்கு ஃபீல்ட் ஸ்ட்ரென்த் இருக்கும் சார், புக்ல இருக்கும். அதுவும் இந்த ஃபீல்ட் பேட்டர்னும் செட் ஆகுதான்னு பாருங்க. ஓகே, what is the variation? There are 2 variations only. One is distance from the source, another one is angle from the source. At what angle you are? There are only 2 parameters. Okay, so அதை substitute பண்ணி கரெக்டா இருக்கான்னு செக் பண்ணுங்க. Then we are going to prove one more thing. What happens if one charge resides on another? What happens if one charge resides on another? Okay. Somebody tell me, I'm having one charge. Anyway, I will simulate this. Now the field is like this. If I am putting one more charge exactly on this plus charge, okay, I will bring one more charge. Exactly, I will put here. Already there is a positive charge. Now I will bring the negative charge. If I am putting exactly in the positive charge, what will happen? Any answer? Whether I will get the field lines or not? Field lines, electric field lines. Yes, somebody please tell me. What will happen? What?
Reduces.
Is it not 0? Both and positive. In a point, there is a positive and negative. They will add together. Then there is no charge there. It is not reducing. Completely, it will become 0. Okay, so I will bring negative charge. If I put exactly there and simulate, again, there is some mismatch here. Okay, there is some mismatch. There is some mismatch here. If there is no mismatch, simply that is zero only. There will be nothing. You will not get any. You will not get any field lines left. Okay, you will not get any field lines. Once if you exactly club both positive and negative charge, effectively the charge present there is zero. Once charge present there is zero, what is our concept saying? D is directly proportional to zero. If charge is zero, there will be no flux lines. There will be no flux lines. There will be no electric field lines. Okay. Is this okay, sir? So far, what we have discussed in a theoretical concept, we have got some idea with the help of simulation. As anything else missing? Okay, so almost we covered everything so far. What we have discussed in theoretical part, same we have covered in simulation. Okay. Any doubts are here? Anybody want to? Again, please somebody. Please wait. Somebody put me randomly 3 charges. What will happen to the field diagram? Random 3 charges. And again, what I have done, positive, for positive charge we have seen the field distribution. For negative charge alone we have seen the field distribution. Okay. Once positive charge resides on a positive charge, field strength increases. If the positive charge resides on the negative charge, field strength is 0. Okay. And we have seen the dipole configuration with the positive charge and the negative charge separated by some distance. Can somebody tell me what will happen if 2 positive charges separated by the distance d? Can somebody do it here? Next scenario is 2 positive charges separated by the distance d. Test anybody? Karthi?
Sir.
If the 2 positive charges are separated by some distance, then what happens? Can you do it here?
Sir, control varadu, sir.
Oh, you are not. Can you imagine if I am drawing some imaginary surface that is somewhere far away from these charges? Okay, I am drawing some imaginary surface that is far away from these charges. Okay, once if you are drawing imaginary surface like this, instead of charge separated by the distance, some distance d, can I take it as a 2q? Why? From that imaginary surface, what is happening? Only lines are going outward. Only lines are, it is as equal to if you are having a 2 charges together placed inside. Okay. See, once if you draw the imaginary surface, if you are concentrating on the field lines outside, okay, in that case, how you can assume? You can bring both the charges together. It is as same as plus 2q. Is it okay, sir? Once if you go far away, sir, நீங்க இது ரொம்ப நியர்பைல இருக்கும்போது தான் உங்களுக்கு இந்த distance தெரியும். See, when you are in nearby, then only you know the distance. If you go far away from this charge, you will consider these 2 charges as a same charge only. Is it not? See, you are going very far away from these charges. Okay, say this charge is of 1 meter distance separated. You are going up to, you are observing from 10 kilometer. How it will look like? You will think it as a same charge. The 2 charges are clubbed together. The 2 charges are clubbed together. That's why once if you go far away, that's why I'm drawing an imaginary surface somewhat in a far away. Okay, once if we go far away, beyond that circle, how that electric field lines are looking? How the electric field lines? It is spherically going outwards. When you will get a spherical lines, electric field lines that will be going radially outwards whenever you are having a charge like this. Yes, sir. Are you getting this concept what I am trying to explain? Yes, the behavior of the electric field line is something different near to the charges. It is completely different when you go far away from the charges. That is the idea. Are you getting this? Yes, Karthi and others.
Correct, sir.
Yes, okay. Now, again, you are having the confusion with the stationary charges and a non-stationary charges. Okay. I will come to that now. What happens? Wait a bit. Are you getting the screen? Yes, anybody?
Yes, sir.
Just wait a bit. Okay. Now, before discussing, we'll see what is that descriptions of the buttons given here. Say, what is this plus charge? They are indicating plus and minus charge, colored charge, red color and blue color. They are calling it as a stationary charges. Okay. Stationary charges. These two are stationary charges. The colored charges are stationary charges. Then what is these charges? Okay, in a dark colored. Okay, black color la charging கொடுத்திருக்காங்களா இது என்ன charge? Okay, these are all called as active charges. That means they can move. This is not a stationary charge. They can move anywhere depending on the force or electric field lines. These charges can move anywhere. Okay, and next, or otherwise they given clearly, these are all called free charges. Free charges means they can move anywhere. This is free charges. This plus and minus are free charges. They can move anywhere on the screen, okay, depending on the forces. Again, this is to reset all charges. Okay, are you all getting this description, sir? Yes. Okay, now I will start. Now I'm going to bring some positive charge to the screen. Yeah, anyway, we know once if you have positive charge, the electric field has to go radially outward. That's okay. Yes. Somebody tell me what happens if I bring another stationary charges here? It forms a dipole configuration. Again, just now we have observed for a dipole configuration, the electric field will be like this. It will be like this. It will go radially like this, and in this way also. Anyway, it is in a thicker format. It's not clearly visible. It's okay. Then, now what I'm going to do, I'm going to bring here another positive charge here. That is movable. Can anybody tell me what will happen if I bring here some positive charge here that is movable? Anyway, this is fixed charges. It cannot move. This is the fixed charges. Its aim is, its objective is, it will give you the electric field. That's it, because it is in a fixed position. Yesterday I have explained how to create an electric field with the help of stationary charges. Once the charge is stationary, electric field will be coming radially outwards. Okay, now I will bring my negative or positive charge that is movable. So okay, I will bring my positive charge here. Can anybody tell me what will happen? It is going in this way. Say if I am bringing the charge here, it is going in that way. What is observation? Anybody? What is actually happening?
Repulsive.
It's repelling, but in which way? That is the main thing. See, the field lines are going in this way. radially outwards. Okay. Once if I put my charge here, sorry. Okay, they are going radially outwards. Once if I put charge here, sorry, it's going in a direction of the electric field. Okay, whenever you are releasing the charge at some point, in that point, what is the direction of the electric field? Okay, I released some charge here. I released some charge. It's going in which way? It's going in this direction. Why it is going in this direction? Because in that point, the electric field is going in this way. In that point, the electric field is going in this way. Okay, so the force is acting in that direction. That's why the charge is going in that way. Okay, so what is the idea? Again, we come to that force on any charge, because the charge is moving. Whenever you are releasing the charge itself is moving, okay, in some direction. Okay, so what is the force on the charge? Okay, the force on the charge is depending on the two factor. Okay, it definitely depends on how much electric field you are giving. How much electric field you are giving is depends on how much charge is in your hand. How much charge is in your hand, and it also depends on how much charge you are placing here. How much charge you are placing here. Okay, depends on two factor. So the force on any charge depends on these two factors. Okay, already electric field is acting. Okay, if you are putting 1 coulomb of charge, you will get some 1 Newton. Maybe you can get 1 Newton of force, or otherwise if you are putting 2 coulomb of charge, you will get a 2 Newton of force. Okay,